Yeah, well, I mean, absolutely. Absolutely, there is. I mean, look, Bitcoin was trading at 69,000 just about a year ago, and so I mean, unless you think that was the all-time high of an asset that is supply limited and has increasing user adoption, I mean, of course, it will get to 100,000. It's sort of like in 1980 when I was first figuring out what the stock market was. People used to say, "Would the Dow ever reach 5,000?" And a lot of people said that could never reach 5,000. Right? I mean, Bitcoin is limited in supply. Its adoption rate is up. Its purpose is as a protection against bad macroeconomic policy, which God knows we're certainly living through. So typically it follows a cycle, and all of the charts suggest it's right following the cycle right now. It's roughly around the nadir of what the historical cycle would predict. It's a 4-year cycle. The next halving, right, when the rate of Bitcoin release is cut in half, is in 2024. What I would expect is Bitcoin will be relatively flat for the next 12 months or so. We'll start climbing in advance of the halving, and then we'll increase. What day it gets to 100,000, I don't know, but I'm strongly of the view that it will.
I imagine almost all of you know that was Brian Brooks, and he is really a level-headed guy. And the reason why I chose that intro is because everything is correlated to Bitcoin. So should we see that $100,000 Bitcoin, boy, this is going to be a very fun space. Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and the market is still looking fresh. Don't even let a few of those in the top 100 by market cap here fool you in the red, because, well, many of them are up big time over the last 30 days. Take Matic, for example. It might be 0.68% down on the 24 hours, but it's up 54% on the 30-day. Polkadot up 29%, VeChain up 43%, HBAR up 44%, Mina up 96%, and Filecoin up 106% on the 30-day. This is why so many of the OGs in this space will tell you to dollar cost average in. It's so effective for a hodling strategy. All right, let's jump to this story about XRP being the second most popular coin in Japan. Yeah, beating out Ethereum. Out of the Department of Economics and Finance at City University of Hong Kong, Barina Fujiwara studied Bitcoin versus XRP. It's a comparison in Japan. Crypto assets are legal, and the country adheres strongly to the anti-money laundering AML regulations. XRP is more popular in Japan than the United States, and found that the reason why was mostly due to the reputation of SBI. SBI is the largest outside shareholder of Ripple and also a big proponent of the digital asset XRP and uses it in multiple ways. One of those is to pay their esports players in XRP. And talk about jumping into the metaverse fast. They are going to have a big event starting on March 3rd. This is the championship competition in a battle royale hero shooter game and a team-based first-person tactical hero shooting game. And then 2 urban sports. Check it out, skateboarding and breakdancing. I'm so curious how they're going to do the skateboarding and breakdancing inside the metaverse. And they are collaborating with real athletes. So that's very interesting. I just don't know a whole lot about it, but I'm going to check it out. And in another area where Japan is going fast, the Bank of Japan will start their pilot program to test the use of the digital yen with commercial financial institutions starting in April. The simulated transactions will be conducted in the trials, making the final phase of Japan's consideration for a digital yen. I don't see the Bank of Japan ahead of the US for CBDC. I'd rather see it as a sandbox for the United States because I know the relationship between Japan and the US. And also, look at how mainland China uses Hong Kong as a sandbox. Absolutely, they do. And Munger was quite wrong in saying that China kicked out crypto. No, Hong Kong took a 180 and they went back into the crypto race. They want to be the crypto hub, and that race is heating up, especially when it comes to competing with Singapore. It's much easier to study in a population of Hong Kong, which is just 7 million, in comparison to maybe a possible eventual rollout into mainland China, which has 2 billion people. So they use Hong Kong often as a sandbox. I was really happy to see the tweet that I had sent out the other day alerting crypto Twitter that Dr. Roslyn Layton's article was again taken dark on the Forbes website. Well, she found a workaround. She thanked the XRP Army for their interest and support, and sunshine is a better disinfectant. Yeah, the DC Journal decided to publish her article, and it's there for everyone to read. The title, Time to Unseal the Hinman Documents. Maybe the DC Journal is a better place than Forbes anyway, so blessing in disguise. This is a story you really want to listen to. Caitlyn Long, she tried to become a federally regulated bank, but was denied, despite her non-leveraged, 100% liquid and solvent bank catering to crypto, only to be attacked by the White House, the Kansas City Fed, Dick Durbin, in the Senate on a floor speech that he gave. He conflated this bank with FTX. It's just now getting painted with such a broad brush. Caitlyn has been warning bank regulators too, as well, even handing over evidence before the implosion of FTX. So she writes in her blog here that they are now embarrassed, and a group of lawmakers in Washington and regulators would just want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. This is just so wrong. Caitlyn is very strong, so I know she'll continue fighting, and my guess is she'll come out a winner on the other side.
So, Professor Zhang, what effect would a wholesale debanking of the crypto industry have on the industry's activity here in the United States and globally?
Please be brief in your answers. We have one more witness, and Senator Scott and I are late to votes. That's our fault, not yours, but be brief with your answer if you could. Thank you.
The crypto industry is an industry that needs access to banking services. If it does not have access to banking, it will either go offshore or into shadow banking, again, bifurcating the U.S. financial system, to which our own U.S. regulators will not be able to see and monitor and regulate those parts of that system where they have fled to. And then if it were to be offshore to other countries, those countries would end up having leadership in digital innovation.
All right, everybody, we're jumping to the fluff. Yeah, we are in the height of the Ume, which is the Plum Blossom season. It is a beautiful flower. It has the same color range as the cherry blossom, from a kind of pinkish white to a deep pink. But the difference is these blossoms have a rounded edge. They are the symbol of winter ending, and very often photographed with a combination of the white-eyed warbling, which is common throughout Japan. In fact, you'll find the bird is in much of Asia and even the Russian Far East. And recently it was introduced in Hawaii, and it does very well there. It's rarely found on the ground, and it loves to groom itself. They're wonderful nest builders, but what they're famous for is they steal other birds' nesting material. Twitter has a wonderful selection of photographs, and I'll put the kanji for Ume in the description, so if you want to search, because look at this. Even the common sparrow looks beautiful among the blossoms. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.